Oh, my friend, come here. Guns, black guns, tan guns, fresh from factory. Welcome to Firearms of America. Today I am back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to do a review of a brand new FN 509 4-inch barrel chambered in 9mm. Let's do some shooting and see what it can do. Now, we got our 17 capacity magazine, so a pretty good option for really both concealed carry, because 4-inch barrel still doable as a concealed carry weapon, and definitely great for home defense because pretty much the same size as Glock 19, only with 2 more rounds. Let's do some shooting. Now, obviously it's a brand new magazine, so it is a little bit tighter spring, a little bit harder to load, but keep in mind with time it will definitely loosen up. We'll put some 5 rounds, do some shooting, and see what we can talk about. All right, so let's try and see if I can hit some of those flippy pedals right there. I'm not impressed with my shooting. Let's do 5 more rounds. So, I have to say, I really do like the grip. Probably, so far, one of my favorite parts of the gun. Look at that. Really good aggression on the back. Definitely very aggressive. Great stippling here on the sides as well and on the front. Not only it fits perfectly, but with this aggression, it makes the recoil very manageable. One thing I wanted to mention here, that if you're getting a brand new FN like this, it comes with some interchangeable, you can just slide it in to the back of the magazine, replace that and make it either smaller or a little bit wider, which I do like a lot. But the standard one fits my hands pretty good. Now, the mag release works very well, as you can see. Besides, it is actually ambidextrous, which is very nice, and the same goes for the slide release as well. The slide release is ambidextrous. Do like it a lot, so if you're left-handed, it'll definitely work for you. So, let's see if I can do some better shooting this time. Getting a little bit prouder of myself. Probably noticed it didn't lock back on the last round, but that was me. It's because I always ride my finger on the slide release. All right, so let's talk about the features. Let's talk about the operation. The slide itself. Now, the spring, well, first of all, I have to say the slide feels really good. Even though it is on the tougher slide, it is still easy to rack. Yes, the spring here is pretty tight, so keep that in mind. If you prefer a gun that is easy to rack, you might not be too impressed with this. However, one thing that I wanted to point out here with this particular one, FN implemented very aggressive slide serrations, both on the back and on the front, which makes it definitely easier. It's very easy to grip on the slide, so keep that in mind. That's definitely a plus. Tighter spring, but there are things that were implemented to kind of make it easier to rack. And also you have to keep in mind that with a tighter spring, you do have a much better recoil handling from a handgun because the spring is tight. All right, so let's put some 5 more rounds through See if this time I can hit 5 out of 5, because it looks like with every one of those rounds, my shooting gets a little better, because I'm getting adjusted to the sides. And then we'll talk about the sides. All right. So let's talk about the size now. As you can see, this is your standard 3-dot sight. Now I do like the fact that the front sight is actually kind of tends to stand out a little bit, makes it easier to concentrate. The posts do line up quite perfectly at this your standard arm length distance. Pretty good, I would say. Now, you probably noticed there are really no safety features here. The only safety that was implemented here is similar to the Glock safe action system on the trigger. As you can see, the trigger here, it's similar to a Glock in the way it operates, but at the same time it's a little bit different, because on the Glock there is this little pre-trigger. Here, however, there's only one piece, but in order to press the trigger, right, in order to fire it, you have to have your finger here and not up here, because here it's not gonna work. And what it does is it prevents the handgun from accidentally firing if you drop it. So it's like a drop, basically, protection. And that's really it. There isn't much. You probably already noticed that there is a rail, accessory rail on the front if you want to put a laser, or if you want to put a flashlight, which I honestly like more than lasers. But let's do some 5 more rounds, and then we will talk more about the trigger, and then we will try to come up with some more or less decent conclusion. But before I can come up with a conclusion, I need to try and hit 5 out of 5. Let's see if I can do it. I have to say, I really like the way it handles the recoil, and still, one of my favorite parts about this gun is the grip. The aggression on the grip, I think, is perfect. Alrighty. Alright, let's talk about the trigger. And then I'll do some more shooting, because I do want to be proud of myself after doing this video. So, the trigger. If you get your finger positioning proper, not up here, but down here, you obviously have this little, about 2 millimeters of obviously very familiar safe travel. But then, let me double check there's nothing in there. 2 millimeters, and then probably about 3.5 millimeters of unsure travel, which I'm not a fan of, honestly. And then probably another millimeter of unsurety, and then a break. Not a huge fan of the trigger. Not a bad trigger, don't get me wrong. Maybe somewhere around Glock trigger, Glock 19 specifically, very similar to the pull on the Glock 19. However, I think it could have been better. Could have been way better. But let's do 5 more rounds. Finish up strong. Not to embarrass myself anymore, because the previous shooting actually got worse. It gets better and then it gets worse. So now, FN, you guys are familiar, European brand, Fabrique Nationale, very, very popular brand. I mean, quality-wise, pistols, FN pistols, I never had any kind of problems. And I reviewed, what was it, FN 503, I think, which is a compact version of this, as a fantastic gun, built like a tank. I mean, just like this one. Alright, so at least I got a last one in. Didn't turn, but that's because I hit it way to the left. So overall, I think it's a great pistol. Like I said, the size of itself and the capacity kind of makes it great for both the concealed carry and keeping it as a main home defense weapon. I think it's pretty good. I do like the size. I do like the grip a lot. I think the trigger could have been a little bit better, but at the same time, in the price range, because I think that's more budget-friendly handgun, I think it's pretty good. And also, what really helps is that the recoil, it handles the recoil very, very well because of the guide rod, because of the spring that is used here, and the fact that everything is ambidextrous. So if you are left-handed, there you go. You have a handgun built for a left-handed market. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about this pistol. If you found this review useful, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. If you have any requests, you can also drop them in the comments below. I always look out for those, and if I come across the stuff, I do the reviews on that as a priority. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.